So we now are up here at the Villa Piana, and today we need to end up somewhere in this area to give us the next day to explore the southern half. Catanzaro Lido seems an obvious choice. There must be hundreds of hotels there like Blackpool, and on the way we hope to see something of Croton, several other places, but we'll set off. We'll have to abandon Sibari, bypass Sibari, look for Corigliano Calabro, where that group of people came from, having their Madonna blessed in Amantea. Go to Rossano to see the Purple Codex, and many more things besides. You know, you can be going along looking, following sign for Rossano or somewhere, and then next thing you know, thank you. Not only do the signs disappear, the road disappears. You find yourself in a park or builder's yard or something. Well, it's now Monday, I think. There's the sea. Drew a blank on Corigliano Calabro. Got to Rossano eventually. Eventually found somewhere near the Centro Storico. Found a parking place, probably miles away from where I want to be, but anyway, here we go. People of Pontefract should note that Rossano claims to have invented licorice sweets in 1731. But the main reason I've come here today is to see the Codex Purpureus. The brightly coloured old town is said to be one of the best preserved in Calabria. Rossano was once capital of Calabria and is still the seat of an archbishop. Could that through there be the Duomo, I ask myself. The Duomo as seen today is largely the result of a rebuild after the 1836 earthquake. Now it says the Museo with the Codex Purpurea in is down here somewhere. And indeed it was, but the museum was closed. The Codex Purpureus is believed to be the oldest illuminated gospel anywhere, and is believed to have been made in the 6th century in Syria. I made enquiries about the possibility of seeing this codex, and several local people took me into the church, found the archbishop or whatever he was, and asked him if this man from England could see it, but the answer was no. Now notice this isn't just a little footpath for pedestrians, this is for cars here. Anyway, the museum is closed, so we shan't be seeing the Codex Purpurea. Rossano was the most important Byzantine centre in the south during the 9th century, and was the centre of a renaissance of literature, theology and art between the 8th and the 11th century. Unfortunately, we must now press on and head further south. Here we are back at the car. We need to unwind ourselves back down all those windy roads and hope that all the ironwork holding the roads up stays in place. The area around here is said to be Calabria's biggest and best wine growing area. So now we're heading southwards on this coast road here. There are all sorts of places we could have a look at on the way. This famous monastery over here, Longobucco. We've got the whole of the Sila Grande if you're interested in mountains and scenery. We've got the Greek temple there. We've got San Giovanni in Fuori, which we could have come on that train from Cosenza, but really I think we'll have to press on towards the Kroton area down here. In the event, I just couldn't face driving into modern day Croton, which is a medium size, busy industrial town, so kept going. We're just south of Croton, and in this area was the Greek colony of Croton. Now in theory we're heading for Capo Colonna, which I imagine is that over there. Kroton, the adopted home of Pythagoras, was founded by Achaeans and later, that's to say in the 8th century BC, became a Corinthian colony. At most times it was the most powerful of the Greek cities in Magna Graeca. Internal conflict added to the conflict with other cities, and the encroaching barbarians speeded decline, and the city was eventually destroyed by the Romans. Now this is the rebuild of a medieval tower which was put up on top of the Roman residential area as a watchtower for invaders and such. Old Greek Kroton was famous for its medical school and the success of its athletes at the Olympic Games, these two perhaps not unrelated. Hannibal sailed back from here to Africa, leaving a record of his deeds in the temple. This temple was perhaps the biggest Greek construction in the area, and today all that remains is one column, which we'll see there. That's the area we've looked around with, that medieval church, and just over to our left we've got a more modern structure, perhaps I would say about 1941. And this apparently is as far as we can get down this little road. And that's probably some of the modern Croton over there, the start of it anyway. So here's Croton, modern day Croton. There's Capo Colonna, which we had a look at. Now I was coming down here, hoping to come down to this cape here. But I suddenly found myself shot out onto this road here, which was perhaps as well because time was getting on. So as we can now see in the light of experience and the map, there's not much between there and Catanzaro Lido. So here we are now on the seafront at Catanzaro Lido, looking for a hotel. So evening's coming on and I'm zipping up and down here looking for a hotel. The only one I could find was the 5-star hotel there. I couldn't find any other, and in the end I decided I'd better go to the 5-star, which I did. The girl on the desk looked a bit doubtful and sent for the chief, who appeared, took one look at me and said no vacancies. Tall, middle-aged Italian men with an office to hold have a certain hauteur about them. Everybody else knew there was another hotel, but nobody could find it. I think they were just telling me what I wanted to hear. So here we are again, zooming down this coast road, looking for any sign of a hotel. We had to pass Squill Archer there, with the site there. I eventually took a risk of pulling off this motorway into a town called Soverato. Found a lovely hotel there, right on the coast, and I was very pleased to see it. I had a lovely sea view from my room. The girl on the desk was very warm and welcoming. The price, €60, was towards the top end of my range. I just wish I had realised that price included dinner. I might have eaten a bit better.